man down?
Sometimes when I stand up, my blood pressure suddenly drops.
Has life been short of a laugh, low on excitement?
Aren't you going to check his bottom?
Maybe you could do with a good pick-me-up.
Ow!
Perhaps you need to see a doctor.
It is urgent.
Have no fear, a cure is at hand. Doc Martin is back.
Actually, I prefer Dr. Ellingham.
Yes, Martin Clunes is returning for a new series as the grumpy GP who tests the patience of his patients.
I can feel that!
And we've been inside the surgery to bring you exclusive, behind-the-scenes access to this award-winning comedy drama. Stay tuned as we reveal how Martin's missus is the one who wears the trousers on set. Find out why it's a dog's life on Doc Martin's Animal Farm.
Martin Clunes is sexing the dog.
And an ITV3 exclusive. Martin Clunes is even ruder than Doc Martin.
Let's face it, she's not getting any young.
We've also got a sneak preview of the new series. Will the Doc finally get it on with Louisa, the beautiful schoolteacher? Or will he lose out to one of her old flames? We meet the show's new male totty. Oh, and by the way, who's the new girl? And why is she so scared of the boss?
Martin asked me not to look at him on the first day, so I'm not allowed to look at him at any point.
TV's most famous man behaving badly became a doctor behaving strangely in 2004.
Move it!
The premise was simple. London surgeon takes on GP's job in sleepy Cornish fishing village.
Oh, God.
But the impact was sensational. The show drew 9 million viewers each week and was voted Britain's best comedy drama.
Every episode, for my money, surprises you.
I think there's a little bit of magic in there.
There's always more to sort of all the characters than meets the eye.
Someone somewhere got this right, that actually this is what people want to go and see.
It is a comedy drama, that's all you can call it, but it's not like the other ones, we don't think.
I'm only too happy to see you when you actually have something wrong with you.
But I haven't even had a cup of tea.
Tea?
Yes.
Try a cafe.
Well, I must say.
I'll make a note of it.
The character of the Doctor actually first appeared in a successful comedy movie called Saving Grace, which starred Brenda Blethyn as an unlikely widow-turned-cannabis dealer. The film was set in the Cornish fishing village of Port Isaac and also featured Martin as the quirky doctor. Martin and his wife, TV producer Philippa Braithwaite, decided to revisit the character. Port Isaac was renamed Port Wen and a hit drama was born.
So we spoke to the nice people at ITV about the possibility of carrying it on, you know, with them, but they felt that the tone that came originally from the movie wasn't really appropriate for their audience or whatever. So, but they didn't mind the idea of me being a doctor down here.
You know, actually, I was...
Dominic Minghella, brother of Oscar-winning director Anthony Minghella, was recruited as principal writer. Their sister Adana has joined the script team for the new series.
Real possibility. I had Martin already, and that's really galvanising and exciting. And, you know, you're pretty sure your show will be on the telly.
I think Dominic has contributed more than just storylines. Minghella is an anagram of...
Ellingham?
Every time Martin saw a draft, he'd throw it back saying, no, make it more horrible, take the pleases out, take the thank yous out. And it just became, as we were going through, that we thought this would be a great character to make this really, really, really grumpy doctor.
Am I your first official patient?
Indeed you are, yes. Collect 1,000 loyalty points, you get a free coffin.
The next step was to recruit a strong cast. That didn't prove too difficult.
Really, I wouldn't. You'll be going.
Ian McNeice and Joe Absalom play Bert and Al Large, the comedy plumbers who drive the Doctor round the U-bend.
And when I read the script, I really enjoyed it. And then when they said Martin Clunes is going to be the Doctor, I thought that's the difference.
And this works terribly well because you've got Martin Clunes playing him grumpy and a sort of irascible old character, and I think that is a treat.
Irascible, good word.
Because, you know, it leads to all sorts of frustrations, which is great.
It's a comedy drama. I mean, it is that, for me, it's that perfect mix.
Veteran actress Stephanie Cole was brought in as Auntie Joan, the Doc's only blood relative in the village. And, of course, there had to be love interest.
They misunderstand each other. She would like to think that she's kind of got the upper hand, but actually I don't think she's as smart at handling the relationship as she thinks she is.
Add a daffy receptionist,
New kids ever had bellyache,
a dysfunctional local copper, an assortment of oddball villagers, and you've got the perfect recipe.
It's like a really good Christmas pudding.
You won't last 5 minutes. You know that, don't you?
But last he did, surviving pranks, insubordination.
Any chance of making me a cup of tea?
Make it yourself, I'm not the tea girl.
And being hounded out of house and home.
Go away! Go away! I've nothing for you!
Doc Martin had written a prescription for comedy and drama to rival the very best.
Do you see his face?
I would say it's sort of 30% comedy and 70% drama.
What's that wonderful word that they're using now? Dramedy, isn't it? Dramedy.
Dramedy.
Which is drama and comedy together. So this really is a dramedy.
Yeah, it's a television programme, I think.
It's a dramedy.
With a location to die for. Doc Martin not only sounded good, but it also looked fantastic. For the entire summer, the crew took over Port Isaac, and they became an integral part of the community. The first 6 episodes were a stunning success. And in 2005, the team was back again to shoot 8 more.
Very nice to be back on Series 2. Thank you very much.
Stay tuned for exclusive access to the filming of Doc Martin on location in Port Isaac. Say ah. We're on location with Doc Martin for an exclusive behind-the-scenes insight. Stay tuned for more secrets of the surgery and a dose of happy pills from Mr. Clunes.
Waffle. I'm waffling. But she can't finish a sentence and she likes to waffle.
With shooting well underway for the latest series, the big questions are, will the Doc begin to mellow, and will he ever get off with Louisa? Playing a man with severe grumpy-itis was a major departure for one of our most popular actors. It seems the viewers weren't the only ones who enjoyed the contrast of Dr. Martin and Mr. Clunes.
Well, it's never very nice seeing yourself on camera, unless you're Brad Pitt, I suppose, but not very nice for me.
What the hell are you talking about?
Sounds a bit vain, but I quite like watching myself as Doc Martin because to me it doesn't look like me or sound like me or seem like me.
Yes, of course.
It's just this...
But I'm so personally worried about if anyone will like me or not, or, you know, desperately wanting everyone to like me. And Doc Martin is completely free of that. He's, you know, he's got that surgeon's clarity of thought and doesn't waste time with the minor details of social nicety.
It was Martin who invented the grumpiness of the character. The character was originally conceived as being merely out of his depth. Sort of an urban character in a rural community. And it was Clunes who made him this curmudgeon, which I think is really what we all latched onto.
Martin decided to put the suits, to always wear a suit, always wear a tie.
Great to see you out that suit.
There was something about his walk when he puts the suit on, he becomes Doc Martin.
Sorry. You should be.
He doesn't even know he's doing it, but he does it. You just see him walking around as Doc Martin.
When I saw him for the first time as Doc Martin, I was unbelievably excited. And I rang them up and said, you know, let's book our tables at the awards ceremonies now because this is already, you know, better than I dared to dream. The way he inhabits that character is extraordinary.
Are you Doc Martin?
No. No, I'm Dr. Ellingham.
I'm Elaine.
That must be nice for you.
Martin has a wonderfully eccentric and individual face in particular. I mean, he's a very big man, which is quite funny on him for some reason. He's completely without vanity. A lot of actors will claim to be without vanity, but they're always keeping a weather eye out to make sure that they're not looking too ridiculous. He absolutely doesn't care. That allows you to shoot it any which way you want. He's wonderfully adaptable. He's got terrific stamina, hugely self-deprecating, but smart as a whip.
As well as being a director's dream, Martin is also the perfect foil for fellow actors. This next bit is going to get a bit embarrassing, so if you're watching Mr. Clunes, this is where you should perhaps go and put the kettle on.
He's a wonderful actor, you know, Martin Clunes. I mean, he really is. He's not just a comedy actor. He's much, much more than that. I mean, he really is. He's one of our finest, actually.
He's a brilliant actor, and he certainly makes everybody laugh a lot.
I wouldn't say we've got all the best comedy stuff. I think there's a certain Mr. Clunes in the show who, unfortunately,
Mr.
Mr. Clunes, who steals it from everybody, being the supreme comedy artist he is.
It's really exciting to be sharing a screen with him, and you know, and I'm learning a lot about, you know, sort of working on camera and comedy and that sort of thing, and I'm really enjoying it.
But he can be a bit daunting if you're the new girl.
Martin asked me not to look at him on the first day, so I'm not allowed to look at him at any point. Doesn't know my name yet. And we're into the 5th episode now, so yeah, it is a bit hurtful at times.
I was probably too busy wetting myself to notice.
Catherine Parkinson is such a good actor that we thought she was serious for a moment. Catherine plays the Doc's new receptionist, Pauline, who's taken over from her cousin Elaine.
It's a great honour for me to be working with somebody that I have been watching on the telly for, I mean, for years, not to make him sound old, but, you know, I've been a big fan of his, and it's my first big TV job, and, you know, you can just watch the way somebody like him operates and learn a lot, you know.
One of Martin's great acting challenges is to make the Doc attractive to women, or to one woman at least. Despite being the most miserable man ever to walk the streets of Port Wen, Doc Martin has somehow managed to set Louisa Glasson's pulse racing. The last series ended with the pair finally locking lips, only for the Doc to blow it with his abject social skills and his obsession for diagnosis.
I'm assuming you have a regular dental hygiene routine.
Are you saying I've got bad breath?
I just think it would be wise to rule out any infections of the aerodigestive tract.